Hello developers. In this video we will learn about inheritance. So inheritance in C# is a fundamental concept in OOPS that allow us to create a new class based on an existing class. So basically in inheritance we have a base class, or we can call that as a parent class also. So that will be an existing class from which other class can inherit. It can contain common field and method that can be shared, and that drive class we can call as child class also, and that will be our new class that inherits from the base class, and it can use the field and method of the base class and also have its own additional field and methods. So how to use inheritance? So to inherit a class we need to use this symbol. So you can see that key syntax. So our class, then our new class name, and then that symbol, and then our parent class, and then we can define method and field whatever. Okay, let me show you live example. So yeah, we will take a class, let's say class A, and there we can have some property like public string name from A class. Okay, and we can have some method public, let's say public void display from A. Okay, so this is our parent class. Okay, so now we have to use this class to inherit our new child class. Okay, so what we will do, we will take a new class B. Okay, and we are using that symbol then to inherit A class. Okay, so this will be our child class, and here we can add some additional property like public string b name from B class. Okay, so what we did, we take a class and we take a property inside that and a method, and we are treating that class as a parent class, and then we have to then we created a new class B, and we are inheriting that class A. Okay, so what will happen now, when we will create object of our B class, then we can see properties from B and A class. Okay, so you can see that b.display method, and that will call this display method from class A. Okay, you can see that property as well, b.b name, which is we defined in the class B, this one, and A name, this one. Okay, so yeah, this is the concept of inheritance. So just to remind again, we created a class where we have some common methods. Okay, method or property whatever, and then you are creating a new class, and we want these method and property to be inherited in our new class. Then we use this class as a parent class. Okay, so what will happen, when we create object of our child class, we can get this property also plus this method and this property from the parent class. Okay, yeah, so we have different type of inheritance. So one is single inheritance, then we have multi-level inheritance, then hierarchical and multiple inheritance. Okay, so single inheritance subclass inherit the feature of one superclass. In the image you can see we have a class A that serve as a base class for the derived class B. Okay, so single inheritance means one base class and one child class. Next is multi-level inheritance. You can see in the image A derived class will be inheriting a base class, and as well as the derived class also act as the base class to the other class. So in image you can see class A serve as a base class for the derived class B, which in which in turn serve as a base class for the derived class C. So next is hierarchical inheritance. So in that, one class serve as a superclass for more than one subclass. In the image you can see class A serve as a base class for the derived class B, C and D. Okay. And then we have multiple inheritance. So in multiple inheritance, one class can have more than one superclass and inherit features from all parent class. Okay. Please note we C sharp does not support multiple inheritance with classes. Okay. So in C sharp we can achieve multiple inheritance only through interfaces. So in the image you can see class C derived from interface A and B. Okay, so the reason behind C sharp does not support multiple inheritance with classes is the diamond problem. Okay, so yeah, I will explain that as well. So apart from that, we have one more type of inheritance, that is hybrid inheritance. So the same thing, it will implement through interfaces only, and it is a basically mixture of two or more of the as other types of inheritance. Okay, so as we know, since C sharp does not support multiple inheritance with classes, then hybrid inheritance is also not possible with classes, and we can implement through interfaces only. Okay, so basically the problem is that if we are using classes now, so let's suppose we have a method defined in A, and we are inheriting that to B and C. Okay, and then we have a class D, and we are inheriting B and C to D. So now the problem will be like if we have method uh, in B or C with same name, then uh, it will not be understandable like which method D class will call. Okay, so this is called diamond problem. So you can see untimed problem is a common issue in OOPs, particularly with multiple inheritance. It occurs when a class inherits from two classes that both inherit a single base class. Okay, creating a diamond-shaped inheritance structure. So this can lead to ambiguity about which inherit method or property should be used. Okay, so let me show you some live example. So this is example of diamond problem. So here what we have a class A1. Okay, and then we created a new class b1 inheriting a1. Okay, and overriding this display method there. Same thing for c1 class. Okay, so now the problem is when we are creating d1 class and inheriting both b1 and c1, then it will not be understandable for d1 like which display method it will call from c1 class or from b1 class. Okay, so that's why this is not supported in C sharp with the use of classes, and this is called as diamond problem. Okay, so to override this we can use this inheritance with the use of interfaces only. So that I will show you. So here you can see we have that interfaces implementation for inheritance. So here what we did, we created an interface, and there we have a method display. Okay, and then we are inheriting class A, and then class B and class C. Okay, so now in class D what we did, we are create created object of B and C, and we have that display method where we can call their method respectively. Okay, so you can see D implements the IA interface and uses interface of B and C to call their display method, thus avoiding the ambiguity. So in that way we can resolve the diamond problem and can implement inheritance. Okay, so we have seen like how we can resolve that diamond problem with the help of interfaces. Just to remind, C sharp does not support multiple inheritance with classes to avoid diamond problem, and instead of that it uses interfaces to achieve similar functionality without ambiguity. Okay, so next thing is that seal keyword. So if you don't want other class to inherit from a class, use the seal keyword. If you try to access a sealed class, C# will generate an error. Okay, so yeah, error will be like cannot derive from sealed class. Okay, let me show you example. So what we need to do, we will simply add sealed keyword with class. Okay, so it will throw compile time error and it will say cannot derive from sealed class name. Okay, so if like it's our requirement, we don't want to inherit our class, so simply we can use this sealed keyword. Okay, so these are the basic advantage of inheritance. So first is like code reusability. Inheritance allow us to reuse existing code by inheriting property and method from an existing class. Code maintenance. Inheritance makes code maintenance easier by allowing us to modify the base class and have the changes automatically reflected in the derived class. And code organization. Inheritance improves code organization by grouping related classes together in a hierarchical structure. We have some disadvantages of inheritance also. So like tight coupling. Inheritance creates a tight coupling between the base class and derived class, which can make the code more difficult to maintain. Okay, and complexity. Inheritance can increase the complexity of code by introducing additional level of abstraction. And the last one is fragility. Inheritance can make the code more fragile by creating dependency between the base class and the derived class. So, just to summary, these are the key points. So, code reusability. Inheritance allow you to reuse code from the base class, reducing redundancy. And this symbol we can use this symbol to indicate that a class is inheriting from another class. Access modifier. Member of the base class can be accessed in the derived class depending on their access modifier. Example, public protected. Okay, thanks. Please share your valuable feedback in comments. Okay, thank you. Bye.